Former President Joe Biden's son, Hunter, went on a must-see profanity-laden tirade defending illegal aliens. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about former President Joe Biden's son, Hunter. Yes, Hunter, the crack smoker, the so-called art dealer. He went on a crazy tirade on some kind of podcast, news show. I'm not really sure what this was. The host was a little bit different, but he's talking about how the migrants are very important, how Trump is the worst guy in the world for his current policies. And without these migrants, you wouldn't be able to do anything. You couldn't go to a restaurant. You couldn't go to a hotel. You wouldn't have anything to eat. All this, that, and the third. Now, what I hear when I hear him talking is a crack smoker, first and foremost, but second, I hear him as a slavery apologist, someone who wants to defend this immoral institution. I thought it was 2025, not 1865. Are we going back in time, or have some of us, like Hunter, Joe, etc., never really advanced forward? Now, before I go any further, let's get to a couple of clips. This is going to be the precursor to the whole thing about the migrants scrubbing toilets and whatnot. I will link to both of these clips in the description if you want to see and hear them without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals. White men in America are 45 more times likely to commit a violent crime than an immigrant. And the media says, well, you got David Axelrod and, Rahm Emanuel was so smart, Rahm Emanuel. And said, we got to understand that these people are really mad. And we got to appeal to these white voters. Rahm, the only people that can appeal to those white voters was Joe Biden, 81 years old, and he got 81 million votes.
Let's pause. Okay, so you think that was all Joe Biden's doing, that he really appealed to all those people and they say, hey, we love Joe Biden, let's vote for him? Is that what you think? Is that what you really, are you really going to tell us that? We all know there was some funny business going on, and I don't got to say too much more. And beyond that, is it about white voters? Because I know plenty of non-whites, whatever, any kind of black, white, Puerto Rican, and candy stripe. I know plenty of them who don't like the illegal alien situation.
And he did not because he appeased their Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it. And he said, you can be an 81-year-old Catholic from Scranton that doesn't understand it, but still has empathy for transgender people and immigrants. And then nobody said, oh, Joe Biden's going to turn us into a socialist state, no matter how much they said it. But these guys think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, you. How are we getting those people back from El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the president of El Salvador and say, you either send them back or I'm going to invade.
You know what? The fact that you would say something like that you would invade a whole country over one guy who was an illegal alien, a criminal, a human trafficker caught on camera, the fact that you would say that points to your crack smoke, and also it points to your absolute leftist lunacy. Even those who don't smoke crack for a living, like Hunter Biden on the left, think that way. Remember the whole thing about Kim Alberto Garcia? There was protests for this guy. Normies talking about bring him back, invade. This is a completely foolish and self-destructive mindset that I would not want anywhere near the Oval Office. I don't care if he was a president, God forbid, or just a hanger-on having influence over the president. I would not want a guy like that anywhere near the Oval Office, period.
Crime, what they're doing. He's a dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both.
Yeah. All right, so there we go. So the interviewer, like I said, I don't know what's going on with the interviewer, what's happening, but hey, you talking about Bukele, Trump, dictator thugs? Okay, whatever.
Bukele or Trump?
Let's get to the next piece here. This is going to be where he really went into the whole thing about the migrants and what they do for this country.
For someone, am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your garden? Who do you think is here by the sheer just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance? And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals for someone.
Okay, first of all, if you come in here illegally, that makes you a criminal right there. And beyond that, there are plenty of criminals who were criminals before they got here. But before they committed the crime of coming into the country illegally, they were already criminals in their country of origin. A lot of countries released their prisoners, emptied their prisons, and sent them to us. Rather than us paying for them, wasting our taxpayer resources on these people incarcerated, y'all do with them in America. That is a big piece of the problem. That is a huge piece of the problem. And they're competing with regular everyday Americans for resources. You speak from a place of privilege, talking about who does your garden. How many people have someone they can pay to quote unquote do their garden? I just cut my own grass right now. I just came from outside cutting my grass. Okay. And I'm about to put some topsoil and all that. Like, I do all my own stuff. I don't have a gardener. And let's talk about something else. People say, oh, you're a hypocrite. This is me right here. This is me. Obviously, I'm the black one. Let's not be silly. But this is me. I'm 19 years old working the Old Country Buffet. Okay. So I've done what he's talking about. I did that for many years. 5 years I worked here. I washed dishes. I would prep some of the food sometime. I scrubbed the toilets. I offloaded trucks. I was out there with the trash, big, heavy, crazy 128, 256 gallon. I'm talking about heavy stuff, offloading trucks, carrying the heavy grease. I done it all, done everything, cleaning the big dish machine. Our dish machine was so big, you had to get up under it. Like, it was as big as that room right there that we're in. Like, it was, the dish machine was as big as what you see right here with the bar and all of that. It was that big. And that's what I would run. Or I'd be in the pot section. You can see my hands are really white because I was washing dishes right before this. This is like at closing time. So I'm like unbuttoned and everything. But that's what I did for many years. So, who's going to wash the dishes? Who's going to make the food? Who's going to, me, and guys just like me, especially when we're young, because that's one of the best ways to get into the workforce is with a low skilled job. Easy to get into. I started that job when I was 17 in high school. Like, I was in school. I would get off of school and go to work. Because second semester, 12th grade, I had 2 classes. So by like 10:30 a.m., I'm done. I get to school like 7:30, something like this. I'm done by 10:30. So I come home. If I got homework, I do it. And about 2 o'clock, I go to work and I close. I did that for years, even in college and everything else. So I don't like this whole narrative that Americans don't want to do it. Now, you don't want to do it, Hunter. What you want to do is smoke crack all day, sell your fake artwork, drive around with these little young girls and record them. That's what you want to do. I don't live like you. Most Americans, I will argue, don't live that way. So keep your ideas, keep your preferences for basically slave labor to yourself. The majority of your country does not agree with you, which is why Trump won, and it wasn't even close. All the swing states, everybody said, you know what? We don't like what your dad, Hunter, we don't like what your dad did. We're going to go a different direction. It's simple as that. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what Hunter Biden said through all the profanity, if you're able to hear anything? And I hate when guys talk with so much profanity. Can I just get some regular vocabulary words? I mean, good grief. That right there points to a low IQ, but that's probably caused by the crack smoke. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I disavow all of what he was saying. This is not the spirit of America. And again, it was proven in this election, 2024. It was proven. We had Joe Biden for 4 years. We had 20 million illegals at least pour into the country during that time. We had all that, and we experienced the violence, the battling for resources, the housing shortages. We experienced all of that as a result, and we say, you know what? We don't like it. It's not about racism, Hunter, or anybody else. It's not about that. I don't care what color an illegal alien is. I don't care what color someone is who breaks the law. At the end of the day, they're here illegally. They're breaking the law. They gotta go. Simple as that. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.